Miss California, Carrie Prejean, told a gay man at a beauty pageant that he shouldn't be allowed to get married. She showed up on the countdown radar when she put Keith Olbermann and Michael Musto in her lawsuit against the pageant that stole her crown. She was on the fast track to becoming a show favorite. In our #1 story, when word of a sex tape came out, Carrie Prejean was a lock for countdown favorites of 2009. That whole program airs next week. Tonight, a sneak peek at Carrie Prejean.
When she told Perez Hilton she believed in opposite marriage, Carrie Prejean was praised by the right for choosing truth over the tiara. But when Miss California became opposite employed, the tiara suddenly stopped looking so bad after all. #1 story, Carrie Prejean claims religious discrimination and sues, mentioning this program and MSNBC in the lawsuit. The man at the center of the controversy is Michael Musto. To analyze his precarious position, I'll be joined in a moment by Michael Musto. But first, Carrie Prejean has filed suit against Miss California pageant officials, citing slander, libel, public disclosure of private facts, intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress, and religious discrimination. All of this stretching way back to Ms. Prejean's original statement on gay marriage at the Miss USA pageant in April.
We live in a land that you can choose same-sex marriage or opposite marriage. And you know what? In my country and in my family, I believe that a marriage should be between a man and a woman. No offense to anybody out there, but that's how I was raised, and that's how I think that it should be between a man and a woman.
Following that response, Ms. Prejean was outed for using performance enhancers that the Miss California organization had paid for. Topless photos of her surfaced as she discussed Satan and temptation with James Dobson. And less than a month after Donald Trump told her she could keep the crown, Ms. Prejean was fired for contract violations. Now comes a 23-page lawsuit, and on top of page 8, 41, on April 30, 2009, Prejean became the victim of a vicious attack by Michael Musto and Keith Olbermann on Olbermann's MSNBC program, during which they mocked Prejean, asserting, among other vile things, that she had had a sex change operation and needed a brain transplant. Only we had some way of replaying all those vile things that were asserted in that vicious attack.
She's sort of like a human Klaus Barbie doll. I mean, you tell Perez Hilton you're against gay marriage. That's like telling Simon Cowell you're against screeching a show tune. This is the kind of girl who sits on the TV and watches The Sofa. You know, she thinks that innuendo is an Italian suppository. Can I keep going? On the pageants now, they really should have easier questions like, what's your middle name, or what show was Seinfeld on? I mean, this girl's a ding-dong. I didn't even like her earrings.
The moral in this is what? Never cross a beauty pageant official who knows you've had implants?
Yes, exactly. That's it. This has escalated to a public shaming. I mean, and what Moakler has left out, Keith, is that they also paid for Carrie to cut off her penis and sand her Adam's apple and get a head-to-toe waxing. I know for a fact that Carrie Prejean was Harry Prejean, a homophobic man who liked marriage so much he did it 3 times. Now he's a babe who needs a brain implant. Maybe they could inject some fat from her butt. Oh, they have?
I didn't like her earrings. Joining me now, tonight's legal analyst, Michael Musto. How does it feel to be mentioned in a Carrie Prejean lawsuit? Is there pride mixed with a kind of apprehension, mixed with a kind of what took her so long?
I'm thrilled, Keith. I mean, not since last year when Jack A. Harry covered her face when she saw me have I gotten this kind of attention. And I'm thrilled that she watches this show, not Dora the Explorer or Real Housewives.
Now, she's got a book coming out in November. Presumably the lawsuit keeps her in the spotlight till then. Are you expecting that you will be, if you're in the lawsuit, will you be in the book?
I better be in the book, but I actually got a sneak peek at the manuscript, and she only refers to some guy who should not get married to opposite people, and also shouldn't wear polyester blend, because that's against the Bible, too. I consider that a mention.
And the end of Carrie Prejean, a sex tape from Little Miss Preservation of Marriage. Not same-sex, not opposite sex, just kind of mono-sex.
Carrie Prejean and the Miss California pageant had these dueling lawsuits. She wanted $1 million for wrongful dethroning. The pageant sought reimbursement for Prejean's breast implants. The sides appeared headed for court until, according to TMZ.com, pageant attorneys played, with Prejean and her lawyers present, an X-rated video of a woman engaged in some kind of sex act. The former beauty queen, confused, reportedly said, "That's disgusting." Then the camera panned to reveal the face of the woman, and it was Carrie Prejean. Guess she forgot. Red-faced and caught red-handed, so to speak, Prejean's demands changed from $1 million to covering her legal fees. Well, if she covered her legal fees, none of this would have happened.
And Carrie Prejean goes on NBC and calls out me.
If Sean Hannity went out there and said some of the things that Keith Olbermann has said about me, you know, if he said anything about Sonia Sotomayor or Michelle Obama, he would be off the air.
Hey, lady, first, you're not Sotomayor or Michelle Obama. Second, he said worse about them than I said about you. And third, you made a sex tape that wound up being shown to your mother.
The free speech and First Amendment rights of the dethroned Miss California, Carrie Prejean, have been so silenced, her freedom so denied, that she has only done 3 national TV interviews in the last 24 hours, including one in the downstairs part of this studio. Our #1 story, did she leave any more of those personal videos hanging around?
You can call it whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it a sex tape, that's fine. But
well, what do you call it?
It was me by myself. There was no one else with me. I was not having sex.
But there are people who say they want to call you on the carpet when they feel you're being a hypocrite. In the book you write, our bodies are temples of the Lord. We should earn respect and admiration for our hearts, not for showing skin to look sexy. So now people are seeing this tape, whatever you want to call it, sex, and they're saying, well, yeah, she's a hypocrite. She writes a book that says one thing.
I'm a model. I was in a beauty pageant. I mean, if people want to call me a hypocrite, then that, you know, that's their prerogative.
Okay, if the tea is steady, Ms. Prejean, you're a hypocrite.
And the self-destruction of Carrie Prejean, part 11 billion. The solo sex tape, she was 20 when she made it, says the guy she made it for, and it was one of many tapes. And look what happened when Larry King tried to exercise his First Amendment right to ask her about the settlement of her lawsuit.
You took the mic off and you put the mic on, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think that you are being extremely inappropriate right now, and I'm about to leave your show.
Look, Carrie Prejean's being silenced. Carrie Prejean's freedom of speech is being violated by that evil Carrie Prejean.
And you complain about the media trying to silence you, and then you cut off your own microphone after a softball question from Larry King. You have just silenced yourself.
So the agreement discusses the motive behind why each party agreed?
Larry, you're being inappropriate. You really are. So I'm not going to. Larry, it's completely confidential, and you're being inappropriate.
Okay.
Okay? So
all right.
You're being
Inappropriate King Live continues.
Speaking of madness, do you find it ironic at all that the title of the book here is still standing? That, of course, is an Elton John song.
Well, I heard she tried to get the rights to Big Bottom Girls by Queen, and also Sweet Transvestite from Rocky Horror Show. Couldn't get the rights, so she went with a more mainstream gay artist.
Yeah. Look,
I'm leaving. This is inappropriate.
No, I'm leaving. It's inappropriate.
Let's both go. Let's go read her book, but don't buy it.
That would be great television. Guest and host both walk off.